Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Erica, and in today's video, I'm just going to be putting together a quick eye look for you guys today. Just thought I would sit down and do that. I thought that would be fun. I was going to do like a whole big long get ready with me, and I was farting around too much uploading a video onto YouTube this morning, and I'm just a little bit pressed for time. So the eye look is what you're going to be getting today. Let's talk about the elephant in the room though, really quick. I did color my hair. I did this by myself last night, or to myself last night. I've been wanting to color my hair for, gosh, a couple of months now, and just really wanted to go back to my roots. Although my roots are going to be grown out real quick here, I'm going to have to do a really good job of staying on top of my roots, or I'm going to look really strange because I have a lot of gray hair. But Kimmy Poo, Kim's Happy Place, I'll link her channel in my description box, another co-creator here on this platform and one of my dearest friends, and we're doing a collab together in a couple of weeks. Yes, she just redid her hair. She has this cute, short, kind of chin length bob cut now, a little shorter in the back, longer in the front, and really pretty coloring. I mean, she just went all out on her hair, and it looks amazing. So she really was my hair inspiration. If you guys have not yet seen Kim's new hairdo, go check her channel out and see it. It's so amazing. So yeah, this is closer to my natural hair color. It's not, this is a little bit more red because I had a lot of blonde in my hair, obviously. And so covering it with the brown kind of made it go a little bit more red, but I really do like it. I really do. So I thought what I would do is use the Pond Lily palette from LadybugGlow Cosmetics again, because I loved it so much the last time I used it. I have a ton of other palettes I need to be using, but this one just jumped out at me today. So I thought that's what I'm going to do. And what I want to do is do a more grungy look with this palette, because I'm just really looking at like this stuff here and I'm like, oh, it's so pretty. So I think what I'm going to do is use this shade here called Bog, this shade here called Algae. I know I used that in my last video, but I don't care. I'm going to use this shade here called Tadpole, and then pop a little bit of this shade called Lily Pad towards the front part of the lower lash line. How fun. So let me grab my fluffier Jessup 221 Luxe Soft Crease Brush and start putting this shade down, Bog, in my outer V and into my transition area. And I thought as I put my eye look together here, I would talk to you guys about change, because I had a pretty big change last night, changing my hair color, which granted might sound kind of lame because, you know, it's just hair. And I am not usually a very big fan of change. I just don't like it. I never have liked change, even good change. I'm like, because I just get used to things being a certain way. And I'm kind of a creature of habit, maybe a creature of comfort as well. And so any kind of change really kind of throws me out of my comfort zone. I have been through some pretty major changes in my life, as I'm sure most people have, so I'm not unique in that regard. But I do kind of like resist change for a while. That's why it took me about 2 months to really decide that I wanted to color my hair. You know, most people probably would be like, hey, I'm coloring my hair. I'm doing that tonight. Thought about it 5 minutes ago, and I'm going to do my hair, color my hair. And I'm like, well, it took me 2 months to figure out that I wanted to color my hair, you know. Kind of dumb, but I just have always kind of been that way, and I'm working on it. You know, I'm working on not being such a weirdo when it comes to change. But it's just, oops, this has got a huge crease in it. Where is my? There we go. The P. Louise eyeshadow base is wonderful, but it does get kind of creasy when you go from one eye to the other. You know, if you put it on both eyes at the same time, it's going to get a little creasy. So you do kind of have to go back and smooth it out a little bit when you're doing your eye look, if you put it on the way I do, which is both eyelids at the same time. If I could put eyeshadow on both eyelids at the same time, that would be amazing. But I don't have 14 hands. The main changes that I've been through in my life, I would say, would be becoming a mother. That was huge. I was 24 when I had Sydney, 27 when I had Braden. And they were not planned, and they know that. They were surprises. They like to joke around that they were accidents. And I'm like, no, you're not accidents. You were surprises. Because I did always want to be a mom. I just wasn't necessarily planning on being a mom when I became a mom. But, you know, I was thrilled and very happy to become a mother. I always wanted to be a mom. But I was terrified, of course, too, because at 24, I didn't really even feel like I was truly an adult yet. You know, I was still struggling to like get my shit together. And so when I found out I was pregnant with Sydney, I was like, oh boy, this poor child. But it ended up working out just fine. And she really helped me grow up. You know, I mean, she kind of was that force that really helped me realize. I mean, I wasn't like doing crazy stuff or anything, but I just was very like do kind of. And she really just helped me get my life in order, which is what I needed to do anyway. So now I'm going to go into Algae, this kind of greeny brown shade that I used in my last video using this palette. And I'm going to use this brush. This is one of my Beely brushes. What brush is this? I don't know. It's just a Beely brush. It probably says somewhere on here, but maybe it wore off. I don't know. And I'm just going to put this, just a little bit of this around the outer edge here, just to kind of tone that harsh edge down. And then, you know, after Braden was born, I was a single mother. I left their dad when I was 3 months pregnant with him. So that was a huge change too. A wonderful change for the better because he was a jerk, but still a huge change and kind of hard because I then had to, well, I didn't have to, but I chose to move in with my parents, and which was wonderful because I had a lot of help with Sydney and with this new baby, Braden, that came along. But that's not really what I thought I would be doing at age 27, is living at home with my parents again. You know, I mean, you do move out for a reason. But it was wonderful, and I'm very fortunate and very lucky that I had that opportunity, because I know a lot of people that don't have that, and so they're kind of stuck where they're at. And I know I've already talked about this in other videos. So that was another big change that I had to kind of get used to, is just raising these 2 children now on my own. That was not my plan. That's not what I wanted. But it ended up being one of the best changes of my entire life, was to get out of this horrible, awful relationship. And, you know, I did get remarried, and I've already talked about that. I'm not talking about it again because it's ugh. But when he and I split up, I just really believed I was going to be on my own forever. You know, that's it. I'm done. I don't want to be in another relationship. I've had enough. And then I re-met my husband. He was my first love when I was 11. And, you know, wonderful. But that was a huge change because I had gotten used to being on my own and doing things how I wanted to do things. And it's not easy for me to ask for help with things. And I just kind of gotten used to being very self-reliant. And so that was a tough shift, was having somebody come into my life that I really cared about and loved, and who really cared about me and loved me, but allowing them to kind of like help me with things, because I was always like, no, I'll do it, I got it, I'll do it. I still do that. And he's like, I got it. I will help you do this. You don't need to do this by yourself. That's been really hard for me to do, to just allow someone to help me out, which maybe that sounds kind of weird, but I don't know. I just got really used to doing things my own way. And I'm also kind of one of those people that thinks that my way is the only way. It's not really like my way or the highway, but I just feel like, oh no, like loading a dishwasher, say. If we do that together, I'm like, what are you doing? Get out of here. I'll do it my way. And he's like, okay, what difference does it make? It's so funny. But he just kind of knows that that's how I am. And he just kind of slinks out of the kitchen like, okay, I'm not gonna poke the dragon. I really do like how that looks. That's very pretty. It's kind of murky and grungy. So now let's go into this shade right here called Tadpole, and I think I'm just gonna put that across the entire lid. That's really what I want to do today. Did I say it at the beginning? I just kind of got myself a little pressed for time today, so I'm not really gonna like go super all in with my eye look. I'm just gonna do something that I think would look nice, and then get on my merry way with my day today. All right, let's go ahead and put this across the lid. Oh, that's gorgeous. I knew it was going to be beautiful green. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, it's gorgeous. Woo! So pretty. I love the shade of that green. It's just this kind of like, I don't know, dark foresty green. But it does, I feel like it has some gold in it too. Man, that's gorgeous. I love the LadybugGlow formula. Mattes, shimmers, everything. So fun. So amazing. And I think, obviously I've talked about this multiple times. The biggest change I think I've had in my life was when my mom passed away, because, you know, obviously I lost a parent. And now I'm in this world without a mother, which is just such a bizarre feeling. I've gotten more used to it. It's been almost 7 years since she passed away. That's coming next month, which is always a really tough time. But I did not ever think I was ever going to be okay with that change, ever, because it was just such a hard loss. You know that your parents are probably going to pass away before you do. I mean, that's just kind of the circle of life, right? and you know that that's probably what's going to happen. But when it does happen, it's just a really big jarring shock, and it was just, you know, ugh, yucky. And I guess the thing that I credit for helping me get through that is therapy. You know, if I hadn't had therapy, oh boy, I don't know what I would have done. That was amazing. I didn't go initially into therapy. It was a few months after my mom passed away. But I went to a grief counselor, and then I also went to group therapy, which was just awesome. That was so helpful, so amazing. Highly recommend that if you guys are going through the grieving process and you have that available to you in your community. If you've lost a loved one, a friend, family member, whatever, and you can find that in your community, like a group counseling type thing for grief, absolutely recommend it, because you come into contact with people that are going through a very similar thing. Yes, people grieve differently, but you're going to find people that are going to understand you really well, and that was wonderful. The thing that makes me sad, though, about that is that we did exchange information with each other, and I have not really kept in contact with anybody. I know after I went through the cycle twice, the grief group twice. You can go through it as many times as you want. I could still be going through it if I want to. They don't ever tell you that you have to stop coming, but I just felt like, you know, I'd gotten what I needed out of it. The first time around, though, it was, I don't know, maybe 10 of us, I think. And there was these two women that were in the group that took down everybody's phone numbers. And for about, I don't know, 3 or 4 months, I would get texts and phone calls saying, hey, we're meeting at the grief group. We're going to meet somewhere. Can you please join us? And it just so happened that every time they wanted to meet, I had other plans. Typically, it was my son's football game, because like most of them couldn't meet unless it was like a Friday night or something like that. And that's when I was going to my son's football games. So it just never really worked out. Then they just stopped calling me, which I understand. I mean, if I'm always going to say no, why would they keep, you know, asking me to come? And then the second go around, the second group, I don't know. I have never really reached out to anybody, and I should have done that, but I don't know. Again, change is weird for me. So now that we're not in the group anymore, maybe that was too much of a change for me to like try to keep in touch with them. I don't know, but this is absolutely gorgeous. The shade. Oh, I love that. I love, love, love it. I do though want to go back in with, where's my brush? This one, this little fluffier brush, and go back into Bog and just kind of go around the outside edge of that shimmer shade. It's kind of a more satin shade, I would say. It's beautiful. Very thick and buttery and yummy. I love that texture. So nice. There's also been, and I've mentioned this, I think, in my last video, I don't know, a lot of change at work. And that's hard for me because I get used to doing something in a certain way and, you know, kind of just get acclimated to that. And then there's change. And I'm like, do we have to change this again? And that's tough for me. And my boss knows that about me. She knows that I don't really love change. And so, you know, she's very good about like, you know, okay, we're going to change this. Take a deep breath. We're going to get you through it. You know, I'm going to go back into algae again. Just going to take that down just a little bit again. She's funny. She's hilarious. I love my boss. She's just really good about like, I don't know, getting me through stuff and letting me know that she supports me. Which is funny because I haven't always had that in jobs when I was in the dental field. Geez. Yeah, not that I really want to go into a lot of detail about that, but yeah, I don't know. It was just time for me to get out of the dental field. And, you know, switching jobs after being in the dental field for 16 years, that was a big change too. And I kind of freaked out a little bit at first. Well, that's not really true. I didn't really freak out right at first. At first I was like, yes, I can do this and this is going to be so great. And then when I started my job and like really started like, you know, my new job and really getting into it, then I was like, did I make a mistake here? Because I felt like, what am I doing? Am I too old to do this? You know? And now I know it was the right choice. I mean, you know, there are things about my new job that are hard, that are a struggle for me sometimes, but for the most part, I feel like it's a great fit. And I'm glad that I left the dental field. Okay, I think I'm pretty much done with that. I do though want to pop some concealer on down here. It just makes it easier for me to do my lower lash lines when I pop concealer on. I don't bring my foundation all the way up to the bottom of my eyelids. I leave room for my concealer. And if I do my lower lash line and then try to go back in with concealer, it's a mess. I mean, I just end up taking my eyeshadow completely off for the most part. And I do have some of that green in there, but that's okay because I'll cover that up with that lighter green shimmer in the palette that I used in my last video. Oh, that's so pretty. It's called Dragonfly, I think. Beautiful. I've moved a couple times, like moved houses, well, more than a couple times, several times actually. Not really as a kid. We pretty much lived in the same house from the time I was born until I was 13, and then I did move into another house to go to high school. And then, you know, obviously went to college and then moved down to Southern Oregon, moved back up where I live now. You know, have moved a few times since I've been back in the town that I'm from. And I hate to move. I hate to move. And we do want to sell this house at some point, probably within the next year. We've been wanting to sell it for a while now, but I think probably within the next year or two, we're going to sell this house. So now I'm going to do my lower water lines. This is the Beauty Creations gel liner in Shamrock. And I just thought this green would look cool, and I haven't used this one yet. So I'm excited to try this. And I've used the kind of like purpley pink one called Razzle Dazzle. That worked really, really well. They're just really nice. I mean, look how, I think that looks great. I mean, you can really see it, and it's pretty. And it works good. I love that. It's always nice to find new products that work really well because I've been using my ColourPop cream gel liners for so long. And, you know, it's just fun to try something different. And I love this shade. This is really cool. Bright lime green. Shamrock green. But the thought of moving again makes me want to weep. I'm like, oh God, I don't want to move. I do not want to move. Because it's just a pain in the butt. I do like to unpack everything. Like I love to bring all the boxes in, like when we first moved into this house, and I could unpack everything and like arrange the rooms how I wanted them. That was fun. But packing we had like a townhouse apartment that we were living in. Packing all that up and moving it in here, I was like, no, hated it. So I think what I'll do is put a combination of these two shades on the lower lash line. I'm going to put Bog towards the outer edge and then put Lily Pad towards the front. Thought that would be cool. And let me grab, is this the right, yeah, this brush will work, I think. Is this clean? Oh yeah, it's clean. I don't know. For a minute I thought, oh my God, did I use that and put it back in my little holder? Because what I try to do when I use brushes is take them out of my little brush holder, use them, and then put them in this other little tray thingy to wash. And just so that I don't use dirty brushes over and over again. I used to do that. I know some of you are probably like, that is just blasphemy. Don't do that. But I used to like just clean them off and use them again. And then I started noticing that my brushes were like getting really gross from doing that. So I thought, don't do that anymore. Like, be kind to your brushes. If you want them to last, you better keep them clean and not use them over and over again. But, you know. And no judgment to anybody that does that. I don't care. Like, do whatever you want with your brushes. It's none of my damn business. So this isn't me like, oh, I would never do that, because I used to do it all the time. I just stopped doing it. So, yeah, we do really want to move, like, out into the country. My husband would really like to get chickens. I know people love chickens and have chickens and think it's a wonderful thing because you have eggs and they're cute and, you know, they're like, you know, little pets. But the thought of chickens makes me not excited. I don't know. They just seem like they're such a mess. Like, I don't want to have to deal with chicken poop and feathers and out in the backyard. No, thank you. But, you know, if we got a big enough yard, then maybe it wouldn't matter. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. I really want to get a dog too. And this looks weird right here. Let me take my little sponge and kind of deal with that for a second. Yeah, that's okay. All right. That looks a little harsh. Let's just leave it for right now, and then I might go back and mess with it. Let me just, I am going to use this brush again. Cleaning this off. Or you know what? No, I don't want to do that. Let me grab a little thinner brush here. This one? Is this one? This one's clean. It's just stained. Okay. God, I'm like, I know I washed that. I'm going to go in with this brush, my MSQ brush, and just go into Lily Pad, this bright green. Put this towards the front here. I really want a dog. I am good friends with Leora, Hillel Goldberg, and our other friend Cheryl, who I love these women. They are my sisters. We chat on Marco Polo, and both Cheryl and Leora have dogs. Leora has 4, and Cheryl has 1. And I just love their dogs. And I see how freaking sweet they are and cuddly and cute. And I'm just like, I want to get a dog. I want to get a dog. I want to get a dog. The problem with here is that there's no yard. My backyard is like a postage stamp. There's like a concrete slab and then a bunch of weeds. My husband needs to weed eat. That was our plan last weekend when we played hooky and didn't do that, but that's what we really need to do. Anyway, the dog would be miserable here, okay? And we're at work all the time, so I just don't think that's fair to do to the dog. You know, leave it home in a kennel all the time and then have no yard. So I think, you know, if we do find a house out in the country, I hope so, that's what we're gonna do, is get a dog. At least one, maybe two, maybe three, I don't know. And my son is just livid because he always wanted a dog living here and I would never let him have a dog because I just don't have the room. And he's like, if you guys move and get a dog, Mom, I don't know that I'm ever gonna talk to you again. I'm like, well, Braden, you live on your own, go get your own dog. So I don't know, anyway. But I know that's gonna be a huge change too, having a dog. So, I don't know. I love this look. I think it looks really cool. So let's do an inner corner shade. I'm gonna use this shade right here called Dragonfly, the one that I used on my last look. Let me grab this kind of brush. I don't know what you call this. So I would love to know how you guys feel about change. Do you like change? Do you hate change? I will eventually be okay with change. I mean, obviously, what are you gonna do? You have to get on with things. But change is really difficult for me. And I will kind of grit my teeth for a while about it and complain and bitch and moan. And this is a little bit maybe too bold for an inner corner shade. So I think what I might do is take my little sponge here and just kind of smush that out. That's what I usually do. And actually, you know what I might do? I know what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna lay this down on my other eye and then I'm gonna go over it with something else just to kind of brighten it up. Because I mean, it looks okay. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful shade. Don't get me wrong. But usually I put a little bit lighter of a shade. Like this is a little too deep maybe for an inner corner. Maybe not. You guys are probably thinking, no, it's not. It's fine. But this is just, again, a change for me. And I'm like, no, I can't do this. It's a change. And then I think what I'm going to do is go into my Aurora Glow Kit, Anastasia Beverly Hills here, and use the same brush. Oops, I almost dropped my other brush on the floor. I'm forever dropping something on the floor when I'm putting my makeup on. Forever. And I'm going to go into Helia, and this is kind of a lighter green, and just kind of lighten that up a little bit. Oh yeah, cool. Oh yeah, whoa, that's pretty. I like that. That brought it a little bit more, more brightness to the inner corner, which I like that. I like my inner corner to be a little bit brighter. So I don't know that LadybugGlow intended Dragonfly to be an inner corner shade. Okay, so I think I'm pretty much done with this look. It does look a little funky right in here, but I usually can kind of straighten that up when I put my base products on. So that's what I'm gonna go do. I'm gonna go finish the rest of my face, dry my hair so you can see how this hair color actually looks on me. And I'll see you in just a little bit. Don't go anywhere. I am back. This is the finished look. I love how this look turned out. And I'm still getting used to my hair. I went down to dry my hair and I'm like, whoa, because I just did this last night. And my husband and I were texting because he was on his break from work. And I said, my hair's kind of tripping me out. He was like, oh, that's right. I forgot you colored your hair. So it's just going to take time to get used to. But I really do like the color. Just, you know, got to get used to it. I'm so happy that I used the Pond Lily palette again from LadybugGlow. I love it. I'll show you the palette again. We'll talk about it. But before I get there, let me show you just a few things I used in my finished look. On my lips, I do have the Wet n Wild Catsuit, Liquid Catsuit in Give Me Mocha, also known as my Dawn lipstick. I have an amazing friend and subscriber. Her name is Dawn. She also loves this lipstick. And so every time I use this, I always think of Dawn. Dawn, I'm so glad that we share a love for this lippy. It's amazing, very affordable, and I think the color is gorgeous, and it goes with everything pretty much. Let's see, for my mascara, I did use the Nobu Cosmetics Nobu Lash. Yes, I did. I love this mascara. I do have a code with this brand. It's Erica20. It'll save you 20% off your first purchase. So if you're interested, I'll have that in my description box. I don't ever really want to push my code on anybody, but I do have one in case you want to use it. Okay, move on. And for my upper lid liner, I did use my Chic Glam felt tip liner in black just because I love this and it works so well. Super affordable. It's great. So now the eyeshadow palette, Pond Lily from And I just stuck with more of a grungy neutral look today because that's just what I was wanting to do. This shade right here called Tadpole. It is beautiful, very thick, very buttery, applied beautifully. This shade right here called Bog is a lovely brown matte. This one here, Algae, kind of a greeny brown matte. Beautiful. This shade right here, Lily Pad. This this is my favorite probably, but this is such a beautiful green matte. I really wish I'd use that on my lid today. I don't know, I just wanted to have like a little peak of green on my lower lash line. And it's so pigmented and so beautiful, such a lovely shade of green. Love green eyeshadows. But yeah, I'm just such a huge fan of this brand. Huge fan of this US indie brand. So glad I stumbled upon their pictures on Instagram. Also heard some other people here on this platform using or seeing them using their palettes, whatever. Love all the palettes I've gotten from this brand so far. And I do have a code with this brand too. It's Erica10. It's an affiliated link. So I make a little bit of a commission if you use my code, but it'll save you 10% off your purchase. My stomach again. Gosh. This is becoming embarrassing. I'm just going to have to force myself to eat, but I just can't stand to eat anything in the morning. It takes me like probably till about almost noon. Like really, I don't really eat anything until lunch. Sometimes I will eat some toast in the morning. Why am I telling you all this stuff? Nobody cares. I really do want to know if you guys struggle with change in your life and how you deal with that. I've gotten better about handling change. I don't know much better, but I have gotten a little bit better about it. I don't really throw quite as big of fits as I used to. Not really externally. I would throw more like inner fits, like in my own mind, just be like, I'm a deadass. But I've learned to accept it and to roll with it maybe a little bit better. But I still do struggle with change. I just think that the status quo or like the comforting part of life, I just get really into that mode. And so then when change gets thrown on me, I'm like, wait, no. But usually I will say that the changes I've been through, sometimes they're not always pleasant at first, but I've gotten a lot of good out of the change that I've gone through. Well, except for my mom passing away, that will never be good change ever. But I've learned to live with that. So I think it's just a matter of grabbing onto your inner strength and just getting through things as best you can and looking for support outside of you, friends, family, therapy, however you can find support through change. I think that's so important. Even good change can be difficult because it's just things aren't the same anymore. But if you can get the positiveness out of change and end up better off than you were before, then it's all good. It's all good change. But the harder changes, the loss that you experience in life and things like that, those are tough. So like I said, support is huge. Find a good support system. But I really do want to chat about this in the comment section. Let me know how you handle change. And also let me know what you think of this look. Let me know what you think of my hair. It's just something I'm going to have to get used to. I really do like the color, but it's a change and it's something I'm going to have to get used to. I've already said that like 5 times. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your life to sit down and watch this video. If you're new here and you enjoyed what you saw, please consider subscribing, smash the like button, and of course, please comment down below in the comment section. I love to chat with you guys in the comment section. It is so much fun. And if you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I really cannot wait to see you guys again in my next video. There's my stomach again. But in the meantime, please take very good care of yourself. Be well, safe, happy, and I will see you soon without a grumbly tummy. Bye!
Drop it.